Yo guys, Vision Shen here, back with more Marvel Rivals content as we have a very special episode on our hands today. This officially marks my 1 year anniversary of producing content for both this game and for this channel, the start of my journey in content creation, and I thought it'd be perfect to share this competitive gameplay that I captured a while back now, and I've wanted to share this with you guys for quite some time. I wanted to make a video that marks this occasion, summarizes my journey to this point, the ideas that starting the channel, why I decided to just finally give it a shot and go for it, the games that I play and create content for over the past year, and hopefully along the way, now or later on, I want to inspire others out there here to do the same thing, pursue your goals and dreams no matter what you are trying to achieve, no matter how old you are or what stage in life. I can't explain how much enjoyment I've gained from this journey so far, so sit back, stay tuned, and let's get into all of the details whilst discussing the future of this channel and also Marvel Rivals. So first things first, starting the channel was not an easy decision, but it's something I've wanted to do for quite some time. It was something during the COVID era, session Warzone non-stop, but having no setup in place, having no space to create content, or the lack of drive and confidence and motivation, I just never got around to doing it. But when this game came around, things changed, and I decided I wanted to give it a shot, which we'll talk in more detail shortly. But I always thought I needed a computer, and I needed this perfect setup in place, and I never had enough money at the time to buy it, or I always wanted a nice gaming PC. But I overcame that first hurdle by just utilizing the Share Studio and the YouTube app built into the PlayStation. And these are things that are examples of things that I thought I didn't have in place, but realistically, you don't need these in order to give it a shot and just start it out. Now, albeit this is not the perfect content, there is so much to still work on. We'll get into all of the improvements and the lessons learned and so on shortly. But as for what I'm trying to get to, is I always thought there were so many setbacks and reasons I couldn't just go for it. And it turned out that it wasn't the case. It was me more almost making excuses to not give it a shot. Now, I've been told over the years that I've been good enough to play games at a high level pretty much my whole life. My friends, family, etc., have always pretty much supported me throughout, and I've always believed I could definitely pursue a YouTube channel or take up streaming maybe one day. And I guess I wanted to just know if I can. I didn't want to go another year, 5 years, or maybe the rest of my life playing games and just never know what if I didn't try. And that's kind of the reason I kind of just decided to go for it. At the end of the day, it could end up being a very short-lived journey. I'm proud that I've just given it a shot and tried and given this thing a bit of passion and love. And it could end being a very short-lived journey, but that's never been a concern for me, nor have I let it demotivate me, to be honest. Pretty much been pretty keen all the way throughout and creating something that I'm proud of, share my experiences, funny moments along the way, and more importantly, archive core memories that I can revisit at a later date, guides for any new players, and much more, such as inspiring people to just give this a shot and also play some of these games that I have already played, such as Marvel Rivals and Minecraft and other games that are on this channel. But I'll definitely also add that Marvel Rivals was almost the final realization moment for me that encouraged me to just give it a shot. Firstly, I don't actually know if I was living under a rock or why I had no idea this game was coming out, but I didn't, and I'm a huge Marvel fan, like massive, and I don't know why I had no idea. But secondly, I was away and I wasn't around for the release of this game, so I just wasn't really sure what I was going to expect from this game. But when I first played it, it was something that I just fell in love with almost instantly. The first time I played it, it felt so different. I've never played a hero shooter. I never played Overwatch, but I'm always, like I said, been pretty gifted and skilled at games to the point where I picked this thing up really quickly, and I absolutely fell in love with the change in play styles, the different characters, all of the lore behind each of them with their abilities and the background knowledge and all that sort of stuff. And this game just made me realize I wanted to play this game and share my journey of playing it and create content for guides and top 5 rankings and other things about future seasons. All of these things came to mind as inspiration and ideas that I wanted to start creating content for. And I didn't really care about what happened with who knew or whether I just didn't care if it didn't do anything. I enjoyed doing it, which was the most important part. I woke up on Saturday mornings after the week of work, and the first thing I started thinking of going forward was I wanted to create content today and I wanted to play Marvel Rivals. And that was kind of the beginning on what made me realize that this as is like what I want to do, and this is what I want to play as a side hobby, and hopefully build on it going forward as a little bit of a community and a long-term solution of me being able to play games and give me more purpose to actually playing as a man in this day and age. Because me as a person, I've been playing since 2004, for you guys to be aware, on the original Xbox. That's when I started. I've been playing games like Crash Bandicoot back then, Fusion Frenzy, Viva Pinata, all of these legacy games that probably a lot of you guys will never even heard of. But then moving into FPS like Call of Duty 2, I was around from then, Call of Duty 3, 4, all the way to present day, having played pretty much most of the major franchises in the time, such as Battlefield and Rainbow Six, Ghost Recon, you name it, all of those back then. Particularly Halo Reach was my personal favorite of all time, with Halo being my favorite franchise. I absolutely love those games. It holds a very special place in my heart, and until this day, I've never lost that drive, that soft spot of what gaming means to me. And I'd love to continue being able to play and share this journey with you guys for as long as I can possibly go on for. And that is something that I just am dedicated to, keen to continue doing, and also along the way, of course, want to inspire people, help make guides or whatever it may be to change people's perspective on what this means to people, and also how to make this a better experience for everyone. As for the games that I play and create content for today, of course, Marvel Rivals is one of the biggest ones and pretty much the main one. I create guides, Lord series. I've been grinding out every character in the game as a Lord content like series in the background. That's not been easy, I must say. I thought it'd be a bit easier than what I initially thought when I set out to do it. There were characters in the Vanguard role that I pretty much nearly got, and I'm a Vanguard main. I absolutely love playing tanks. But I didn't realize how long it truly took in-game time-wise on to get all of the characters. I think I'm up to about 12 so far, and I've got a long way to go. But as you can see, I play also other games on this channel. If you are new, there's so many other games which we'll get into in a second. But for the Lord series, that was something that when I initially set out to do, I didn't quite appreciate what commitment that was going to take. And I love it because that's a good thing. I'm not going to give up on it just because of that either. It's something that I just didn't think was going to take as long. And that just means my plan is going to go a bit further, and that means I'm going to have more reason to grind out the game in the background, whilst also making other top 5 ranking content that I've started again, and other content as well going forward. But I also play Call of Duty. I am a competitive player. I play at a really high level in that game. I absolutely love Call of Duty. It's like I said, I've been playing since COD 2. I was one of the first people around since the start of Call of Duty. I've always been into everything in terms of public matches, zombies, Warzone in modern day, of course, all the way through to now. Master camo grinds, I've just got all of the master camos in the new Black Ops 7. I've got nukes, I go for nukes, high kill gameplays, sniper clips, and more. So much going on. I love COD, and that's other content I create in case you guys weren't aware. I also play Warzone, content for high kill games, kill races, best loadouts, landing spots, and more. Warzone's another cool part of the sort of channel in itself, something I enjoy making content for, as well as Zombies. I'd probably argue that Zombies is my favourite or second favourite with Rivals, with creating content for Easter eggs and each and every map playthrough from all of the Treyarch games dating back to World at War, creating the ultimate tier list, which I've enjoyed massively creating content for so far in this journey, and we've got a long road ahead. If you guys haven't seen that series, I'm trying to create the ultimate tier list, that at the end of that series, we will have every single map in a playlist where we can then do a final ultimate ranking video and determine with all of the backup and all of the evidence of me playing those maps in one place. That's something I've really enjoyed doing and something I'm going to continue to do. And then, of course, Minecraft. That's another game that I've played, one of my all-time favorites, a game that I've created arguably the most amount of my content for. However, looking back at this as like a lessons learned, which we'll get into shortly about lessons learned, I'm going to look at moving this content to maybe a brand new channel going forward, as I do not want to create any conflict in audiences watching my content, and having probably too many different games going on. I do get that. Again, initially when I started this, it was just Rivals. I then started creating Zombies content. I was always going to play Call of Duty, so I created Call of Duty content. But seeing as Black Ops 6 wasn't that great, I always played Warzone as well at the high level. I'm nearly an iridescent rank player in Warzone. I created that one, just giving you guys a bit of a timeline. And then obviously Minecraft throughout is just a game I fell back to with so many of my friends. And who doesn't love Minecraft? I mean, it's one of my favorite games of all time. So I put it all into one place. But now as we've gone on for over a year, I also have just come to realize that it's probably best that I maybe separate them and come up with a solution where moving forward, as I appreciate many new subscribers will probably be a little confused as to what content I may be actually creating, and maybe put off a little bit from seeing so many different types of genres and game styles. So I do get all of that, and I have taken on board any sort of feedback I've seen or criticism I see in other videos on how best to avoid these scenarios, and that's something I'm working on. So if you guys do subscribe and stick around for the Minecraft content only, and you're watching this Marvel Rivals video for the first time because you see the name on the title, whatever it may be, just saying I will give you guys an update if I am moving the Minecraft content. It will be to a new channel. You guys can check that out, of course, and we'll be seeing all of the weekly updates that I give you guys, just with guides and forever worlds and hardcore gameplay and stuff like that. So stick around, of course, and stay tuned for that one. But look, after all, this is my first real go at this. I'm still learning and probably will always be learning. I'm not naive. I know for a fact that you're never the best and you're never perfect. So everyone's always got something to work on. And that's one of my biggest ones I'd say that I need to work on, as well as talking fast. If you guys already have thought I talk fast, believe it or not, I have actually talked a lot faster in previous videos. It's something I'm working on in life, not just in games. It's something I do in the real world, in my own workplace. I've been told I need to slow it down. That's something I'm working on. So if you guys have that as feedback, I do apologise, but again, I am working on it. It's something I've had feedback for am grateful for, and we'll get into in a second. As for my journey and growth, I've overcome a lot of challenges, like lack of growth as a channel. That's something that I've been proud of myself and how motivated I've been throughout this year. Like, I've never had a demotivated time of, oh, I'm not getting enough subscribers, because that's not what I created this content for, or channel for. I was never here to just try and grow the biggest channel as quick as possible. That was never my intention, and nor is it still to this day. With also having various other mental, physical, and emotional challenges and obstacles to overcome along the way. As we all do, that is life at the end of the day, but I'm just proud of how I've overcome this whilst growing as a channel, as a person, and setting targets, like sticking to goals and planning ahead, prepping videos in advance for when you take time away, driving to achieve more, create better and more content. The quality is trying to be something I'm focusing on. Editing is something I'm trying to work on as well as things like thumbnails. Eventually, we'll get around to improving those, as I appreciate a year on now, I need to get a bit better at that. Taking on board any feedback for anyone who's given me that along the way. Firstly, thank you. Like, I genuinely appreciate it, and I think I've been pretty accepting and sort of use that constructively for the most part. Example, I would say, is the Tolkien Fast one. I've had people say it in my comments. I'm working on it, believe me. I'd like to think I'm definitely getting better. I've always had this issue, like I said, in the real world, and when it comes to gaming and sports, I'm just so easily carried away. It's the passion part that takes over. But honestly, like I said, thank you for the support and any feedback along the way, and if there's any others you want to mention down below, if you're watching this video still to this point, again, let me know, guys, down below. I'm always interested to work on things and improve. But this channel has helped inspire me to play other games, go that extra mile within those games, and just generally motivate me to create additional content, whether it's small or large, such as like even the Forever World series in Minecraft, or Play Hardcore, or of course the Lord series we mentioned in Marvel Rivals, allowing me to give me more of a reason to play these heroes games and all of the different things, having more purpose on this channel. And of course, lessons learned, like Minecraft content and moving it to a new channel, conflicting audiences. These are things that I'm trying to overcome, and we are working on solutions going forward. And I've just found it so important to take on board this feedback and also watch my videos back and learn of what I do wrong and also what I feel like I've done right, because there are a few things that I've been very pleased and proud of too. Like, it's important to notice the positives and all the improvements of self-growth, like talking slower, or like demonstrating a video in a better manner than maybe when you first started. Because let's be honest, everyone when they first starts, and even to this point, there's still a long road ahead, and there's still so much to work on. And it is always cringy when you look back and you think, wow, I did that so badly and stuff like that. So yeah, looking back and seeing the older videos and seeing how I've grown already, that's enough for me to see that I can go a lot further in this, and hopefully you guys will agree with me. Now, as for this video, after all, we are showing some competitive gameplay right now in Marvel Rivals. I guess before we finish and summarize the rest of this video, I also thought it would probably be good to discuss why I've chosen this to share as this video. So this was actually my first and I think only ever 6-stack game back in the day of Marvel Rivals, when I think you could only play it then. I don't think you can now. I can't remember. I don't have a big group that plays this game. But the point is, this was my first ever competitive experience playing at Celestial 2, and I think I was a pretty good Thing player. I'm pretty good at Vanguard in itself, I must say, but Vanguard in itself is just something that I've really enjoyed since I've got into Rivals. But the Thing was one of those heroes where I just felt like I was changing and taking over games, and I think I impressed a couple of people in a game before, got invited in, and I got into a 6-stack. And as I said, I'm a Vanguard main, I'm a huge Marvels fan, and getting to play in this experience was quite special for me because I'd never experienced this before. I played only really Rivals with one of my friends, B-Money, who's on this channel a lot with other games, and also my cousin, and the three of us together have played it quite a bit. I wouldn't say we're really that good as a three. Like, I feel like we should be better, and there's a lot of things we could have worked on. But the point I'm making is, this was my first real experience of playing comp at the highest level for myself in Celestial, which I was really proud of, and we had a really fun game. This game was one of those nail biters. If you haven't been noticing the content throughout, it went the distance. It was a very challenging game because I wanted to prove to myself that I can play at this level, and I'd like to think I definitely did. And there was a moment where we had a really clutch sort of tight moment in overtime. As you can see, the objective point needed to be pushed the entire way, and that is what we did. We've gone from pushing it with literally no time at all. We only had 1 minute, and we've somehow pushed it all the way to this point. If you guys are new to Marvel Rivals, this is one of the most entertaining but chaotic games in all of gaming. Like, I cannot explain what this game can be like in these moments when there's no time. You got to all stay on the point, or one of you at least has to not leave the point, and you have to do your job perfectly. You can't get waved. You got to count ultimates. You got to predict where people are and making sure that you're peeling for your teammates as a Vanguard, and you're protecting your team. You're frontlining whilst also jumping back to protect your supports. All of these things going on, and this was something that I kind of blacked out in the sense that I just locked in. I didn't really think about anything else going on. It was just me doing the thing that I knew I did best and making sure I made sure that this was a winnable game. And that's kind of what this first overtime round was. But I made a mistake by just putting GG's in the chat after. I honestly just, like I said, blacked out, so I didn't think there was another round coming. And then my whole team was like, "Oh, what have you done, Vision? You've just set up GG's, and there's another whole round coming. You've just like wished us karma." I was like, "Chill, chill, we're good, we got this. Don't worry, I've got this." Like, but I didn't actually realize at the time. I wasn't being cocky. I just said GG's. Like, I thought that was it. It was such an immense moment. I think the first ever time I've ever been in an OT, especially at this level, and pushed the objective the entire way. So I was just so caught up in the moment, and it was something I thought was hilarious. But at the same time, we had another whole round to prove to ourselves that we need to win this out and close it. And again, as a six stack, I wanted to make sure I set a precedent here that I wasn't like the weakest link, and that I didn't cost us by saying GG's and then we end up throwing in the last round. Like, it was all such an incredible experience. I can't explain it, but I didn't have the footage saved. But just trust me, we went on to win 6-4 or 6-3. Like, they didn't even cap the first point, and we were all good in the end. And we had a bit of a laughing moment in the game chat after in the lobby. But that was pretty much like the only game. I think someone had to then leave. We never got a sixth back, and that was pretty much my only experience of playing in a six stack like ever. And I thought it was pretty special because, like I said, I never got to play in those environments. I wanted to prove to myself at the Celestial level that's like my peak. With all of the other games I play in the background, I play and tried to get Iridescent in Call of Duty. If you guys are unaware, that's kind of the same as trying to maybe go for Eternity or even higher maybe in Call of Duty equivalents. And trying to balance all those other games whilst playing Minecraft and doing zombies Easter eggs for old games. Like, I thought that is definitely impressive to the point where I could play this game at high level when I really wasn't ever giving any of these games my full attention, and I'm still am working a full job and have other real world problems to deal with. And I just think all in itself, it's something I wanted to share and something I wanted to talk about because I am proud of, and it is special. And I think this video I wanted this to be the video because I've had it saved for a while. I had no purpose to just upload it for the sake of it at one point. And seeing as Marvel Rivals is where I started this whole journey, I just wanted this to be the gameplay that I used for this video, and I hope you all can agree it would be the most fitting way to sort of round out the year and how we move forward. But as for what's next, I would say I'm going to continue just building on myself, this channel, improve where I can, and just keep going, really. I'm going to try and continue playing my current list of games, of course, finish out each and every series that I've set out, especially hoping to earn all of the Lords in Marvel Rivals, which I know is going to take some time, but we're going to continue with that one. I'll also look to add new games to here, and also when they come up, just try out new games as well. I'll eventually get around to playing GTA 5 once it's the sort of last time, and we all decide, me and my friends, to just give that one more playthrough. And also, as it's an all-timer for me, and we head into GTA 6, I would like to have some content on here as well prior to its release, because I am a big fan of GTA. I played GTA 4 when it first came out back in the day, like I was around then, and I've always been a fan of it. So that's another thing that I'm going to look to add to the content going forward. So if you guys are interested in that, and you guys love GTA as well, stick around, make sure you hit that subscribe, because that is something that I'm going to share a lot of content for going forward. And then in summary, I would say, like, today marks the full first year of creating content for this channel. I massively enjoyed the journey. I can't wait to see what 2026 has in store for us, and hopefully this video and many others on the channel and going forward will help you guys in some way, inspire you perhaps. And thank you again for all of the support. I massively appreciate it. I cannot put it into words, but we're going to keep on going and we're going to keep on building. But as always, if you enjoyed the video and more so the content from this channel, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you have any comments or suggestions about upcoming content that you want to see on this channel, please also let me know down below, the guys in the comments, and I'll get right back to you. I am truly interested to hear your thoughts and your feedback, and I want to work on it together and improve going forward as we have a long road ahead. I'm Vision SGen. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.